righty, Rebecca. Thank you for being patient during our technical difficulties today. Folks, sorry we're a little late and getting looped in. It's one of those days. We've had the yard being cut next door. We've had a few technical difficulties, but we are here. Welcome to Porch Chats. It is Thursday, April 9th, and we're here with Rebecca Cingolani. All right, pronounce it for me, Rebecca.
Cingolani.
Ah, Cingolani. Okay, perfect. Is that Italian?
It is Italian.
Because I was supposed to be in Cinque Terre, if I said it anywhere close to Italy.
Yes, that's right in the area where my husband's family's from, actually.
Oh, that makes sense. Now you're running for the House, is that correct?
Yes, seat 110 in the House.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Terrific. So where is District 110?
It is a tricky, I'm sure everyone's kind of saying that, right? It's a tricky district because it starts over by Daniel Island. So it's Mount Pleasant, right by where the bridge at 526, and then it runs down past the port, and it's just on the one side of 526, as I understand it. And it kind of goes through Ion and kind of uses Shem Creek as the boundary on the one side and Patriots Point on the other side. And then it also encapsulates the peninsula, the bottom half of the peninsula in Charleston. So diverse population as far as the way we live, right? So that's exciting.
Exactly. So what made you decide to run for the State House?
Well, you know, I kind of feel like I'm a sleeper cell. Like I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the right place for me and the position, and I just woke up one day maybe 2 months ago and I thought, yep, this is it. This is a place. We just moved to this house from another place which would have put me in a different district, and so I felt like this was where I wanted to be, and I'm so glad to be here because I've been waiting, which is a great position to be in because I've been planning. Been in the planning.
Oh, terrific.
Yes.
Great. Well, what are the big issues that you hope to and plan to address if you get elected?
Yes. Well, because over the last couple of years, I've been a business analyst where I go in and I spent a couple of days looking at the overall workings of small and medium-sized businesses. And so I really got to understand how streamlining processes are critical in order to keeping costs down and efficiency. And when you want to implement new plans, if you already have the system in place, then it's much easier to do that. And so what I'd like to do and what I'm planning it to do is really have streamlined systems, which sounds like it's easy, right? But we all know that that's not the case. And notoriously in government, that's something that hasn't really actually been addressed. We try to keep patchworking it. So that is certainly something that I'd like to work on, as well as preparedness. You know, when we have plans in the background, I feel like when situations like coronavirus happen, if you're prepared, then you can pull something out of your back pocket to implement to help things ease. An example of that is the California governor addressing the homeless population right now. That I'm imagining that didn't happen overnight, right? That was something that they were thinking about and planning, but it just came to the forefront. So being more ready for social, reform in that regard.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Terrific.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things in the community that are happening, right? But I think that, of course, all those things can be addressed on a case-by-case scenario, but it's the background stuff that no one's thinking about that I enjoy thinking about.
Well, for example, I feel a little frustrated that our General Assembly isn't being able to really be active in handling the pandemic right now.
Exactly.
Because the governor's acting on his own.
Exactly. So that tells us a lot right there.
Yeah, I mean, it was scary that the General Assembly went up yesterday, I thought. And it seems like the highest priority should be creating a way to act remotely to me.
Right. Well, that's just because there's not really much protocol put in place. But I think those things can easily be addressed if somebody takes the initiative to do it, which, it'll happen for sure.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so I've been in Charleston or Mount Pleasant for 5 years. And as it happens, my family, all my dad's family lives here. So I've spent every summer here, all over the state actually. But my grandparents my grandparents lived in James Island. So I spent every summer at Folly, running around and playing. So from the time I went to college at UC Santa Barbara and got a
Oh,
degree in
cool.
biology. So I have a strange background in that I have a degree in biology, but I've done a lot in the business world. I've been self-employed from the time I was 24 until the time I
Wow.
moved to Charleston. So I did that for over 12 years. And now in Charleston, I've done a variety of things. And right now, what I'm doing is selling supplemental health insurance. But what is really an interesting perspective for me is that I think selling insurance is great because right now, like life insurance, people are eating that up. They're realizing that they need more coverage. So, but the company that I work for actually goes into public schools. Almost every public school district in the state has we go into. So I've been able
Yeah.
to see a variety of schools in different counties, all sorts of demographics, and get to see how they run and what they're doing in there. So it's really got me thinking about our education system. So I feel passionate about that because I didn't have a great experience, and that kind of drives me to give people who are smart, because I feel like I'm smart, um, opportunity to learn in different ways because not everyone learns the same way. So I think that we are at a place where we could be implementing a different way of teaching, like right now where we're doing everything online, but actually
Right.
bringing that into different styles of learning. So we can bring all of those things together at once.
Well, and of course, we are still, dealing with the quarter of shame issues. So while some kids I think are learning fairly okay right now because they have technology, if you don't have the internet at your house, your options for learning are extremely limited.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And it's something that few people talk about around here because we're a little bit more privileged. We have those things, but there are a lot of places across the state that don't. And so it actually is in part of my plan that gets implemented for everyone because the opportunity, that's it's like the Jen said yesterday, was it Jen, where she was saying it's
Mhm.
like a utility. It's not
Right.
a non-negotiable. It's something that we all have to have, and she's absolutely right about that.
Well, this is the first time we've had Democratic candidates running for every seat in
Yeah,
Mount Pleasant
yeah, that's
in 30 years. So pretty amazing. I don't think everybody realizes that a lot of folks who've moved to the area are Democratic or have been Democratic, at least leaning.
yes,
So it really has created more of a change. It's been very much a part of turning Charleston County blue.
yes.
Now, um, with it, now, do you have a primary opponent?
I do have a primary opponent, and that's
Okay.
really exciting because I think the more of us that are out here, the better. The more involved we all are in the process, the better our system is in general. So I'm excited about that actually.
Okay. So therefore, So we need to get people to go out to vote for June 9th for you.
Yep, that's right. June 9th. It's right around the corner, and it's going to be here faster than we know it. And so everything that we're doing now is really online, right? Although I'm really excited. I tend to be an introvert myself, but I do like people, and I feel like I communicate well. So I'm excited to get out there in front of people if it's possible. If it's not, you know, it can wait till the fall, but there's nothing like just getting to understand what people's needs are. And we haven't found a way to quite translate that online, but we're getting better, aren't we? This is going to help, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, a lot of us haven't necessarily always been receptive to phone calls, but maybe some people want to have that phone contact a little more.
Yes, I know that I've been more active on Facebook.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, I think reaching by phone and mail and email, there are going to have to be a lot of ways we kind of campaign differently this time.
Yeah. Yes.
And know that we're working on a plan right now to help people vote absentee. I would urge as many people as thinking about it in Charleston County, you can go to absentee@charlestoncounty.org and send an email that says, I want an absentee ballot application. Oh. And this county would be glad to send it out so that people can go and vote by mail. Great.
I did my absentee ballot this morning. I asked for it online, but I did it through the website.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. And that's the other one, scvotes.org. You can go request an absentee ballot, but what you have to do is then log in as yourself and then fill in that application. Now, as of now, you have to mail it in or print it out, and some counties might take it emailed, but you have to sign it at this point. We think that might change in the next few weeks, but we will see.
Okay. And so the way that you were talking about first, you don't have to sign it?
It's when you do it by email, it actually is a 3-step process. If you go to the website, it's only a 2-step process. You go to the website and that is the application you're filling out.
Okay.
But the other option that is a little easier to do a click through is you can email and request the application be sent to you. Then you have to send the application back, and then you have to get the ballot and send it back as well. So we've talked about education and we've talked about insurance. What else would you like to see happen at the State House?
Well, there are so many things that that's why I like the idea of having the streamlining the systems, because I think there are a lot of things that we could do, but we're not quite ready for it. So it's really more for me about getting ready for all the things that are to come. So I'm ready to pave that way.
So what is the best way for citizens in Mount Pleasant, went to myself for a second there, citizens in Mount Pleasant can reach you?
Right now, Facebook is the best way. I have a page, Rebecca Cingolani, and very soon the website will be up and running, so you'll be able to visit that by the end of next week.
Terrific.
So please do. I would love to have people connect with me. I really want to hear what's important to people in the community, especially right now, because a lot of people do have extra time. So while you're thinking about it and you have the time, you might as well just hit me up now, right? Before you forget.
Absolutely. Well, terrific. Great. Well, thank you for your patience with the technical difficulties. This will be loaded up on Porch Chat. So if you're seeing this a little bit late, we're getting it all loaded up right now and ready to go. Rebecca, thanks for joining me today and look forward to seeing you more.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.